Let's go! Week 12 of the End Zone, let's roll. It's playoff time, the best time of year. Many teams making some statement wins tonight, especially in Class 4A. Two teams with win-and-in scenarios, Starkville and Columbus. But if you lose, you're going home. One of these two teams did fall tonight, and it's on now. A couple of these 4A teams going on the road trying to get playoff wins. All the highlights and scores are coming up.
The WCBI EndZone Show with Robbie Donahoe and Tom Ebel is brought to you by OCH Regional Medical Center, Carl Hogan Toyota, East Mississippi Community College, and Max South.
It's week 12 of the End Zone, presented by OCH Regional Medical Center. Our great sponsors with us as well, Carl Hogan Toyota, East Mississippi Community College, and Max South. I'm Robbie Donahoe. I will be your captain this evening, flying solo with you on our playoff journey. We started all off with our Carl Hogan Toyota Game of the Week. These two teams played back in September, and it was the start of a long winning streak for Amory that they are still on. But would the winning streak continue tonight against New Albany?
WCBI High School Football Game of the Week is brought to you by Carl Hogan Toyota in Columbus.
We were given the Toyota Prius from Carl Hogan Toyota. It gets 52 miles to the gallon, so if you want to save some cash on gas, that would be the car for you. It's a great vehicle. Go get yourself one. To the action, New Albany Amory. Good to see some playoff football along in Eckerd Field. Oh, this one got a little out of hand early for the Bulldogs, trying to... Well, that's just silly what Peyton Snyder's trying to do. Kick it out of the end zone off the ground. That is a safety. A bad snap. 2-0 lead for New Albany. And then on the Panthers' second possession, here comes the Z. Z Gates keeping it himself. 51 yards later, he's in your living room for the touchdown. It is 8-0 Amory. And here comes, dab on him, Mr. Gates. But here comes New Albany. The Bulldogs came to play tonight here. Throwback pass here from Loden Bowen. He's going to find Drew Welburn for the catch. Gets a first down. A few plays later, bring in Sam McMillan. They got plenty of guys that can throw a quarterback. Here's another one of them. Pounds in for the touchdown. 8-7 lead at the half for Amory. Got to give a ton of credit to New Albany. They played their hearts out tonight. Panthers, though, have now won 9 in a row as they defeat New Albany 29-18, and the Thriller Panthers are moving on in the 4A playoffs. We'll get to those 4A brackets here in a matter of moments. But into 6A, the two win-and-in scenarios, Columbus and Starkville. We start with the Falcons, and tonight, a really cool thing Columbus did. They dedicated their field house to their longtime utility man, Cookie Bailey. Everyone knows him at Columbus, one of the hardest working men you will ever meet. Great to see him recognized on the front of the football field house. And Kylan Hill, this is what he's known for, running the ball. 20-yard touchdown. That would tie the game at 7 for Columbus. Later in the first quarter, Kylan doesn't have it here. C.J. Goland has it. 23 yards later, that speed kills. 13-7 lead for the Bird Gang after one. Second quarter, Goler is going to the air. And the guy he usually finds on the other end of this pass is Mike McLeod, and he just so happens to be there again on the third down play. It's 20-14 Falcons. And then before the end of the half, how about this run here from Kylan Hill? He breaks through the line, then breaks 2 tackles. There's 3, and then he outruns a 4th, and you can wave goodbye. 36-yard touchdown. The Falcons put up 60 tonight, and they won. 60-47. Columbus is in the playoffs. We'll tell you what seed they get here momentarily. How about Starkville? A big-time matchup. Cam Akers versus Willie Gay. Starkville and Clinton Jackets had to win to get into the playoffs. Willie Gay did everything he could to will this team into the playoffs. That's a touchdown right there to tie it at 7. Now, Arrow's up 14-7 here, second quarter. Wesley Albritton's punting here, but a bad snap, or bad catch, muff punt. Starkville's on it, and they recover. And sure enough, Willie Gay is here to make them pay. 42 carries, 249 yards, and 3 touchdowns. You kind of wonder where Starkville would be right now if they played Willie Gay at quarterback to start division play. Because Cam Akers was not going to be tonight. The Arrows are your division champs, and Starkville is out of the playoffs. Your defending 6A state champions will not be in the postseason. It's a stunner. Clinton wins, though, 35-28. Tupelo has an undefeated regular season. No problems with OB tonight, 36-7. Let's run through the 6A North playoff seedings. Tupelo's your 1. Columbus actually jumps up to the 3 line because of the point differential because they defeated Hernando by 13. So Falcons are the 3, which means they're going to get matched up with Madison Central as the 2 and UC. There's no Starkville. It is shocking to see the Jackets out of the postseason. But Tupelo going to hang with Braden Smith and Northwest Rankin. That's going to be a fun matchup to see how that Tupelo defense does. Columbus going to go to the jungle to take on Madison Central. Look at those bottom matchups. We could get South Panola Clinton again. That would be fantastic. Let's go to 5A North. Saltillo and New Hope. Now, neither of these teams were going to get into the playoffs, but they're trying to go out of the high note, and it would be New Hope that would go out on a big high. Here, defense coming up with an interception for TPOD. They were already up 23-0 at this point was New Hope, and they would really begin to put it on Saltillo here. Tony DeLoach has really come on as of late for the Trojans on offense. Gets this one down to the 19-yard line, and he would pick up a touchdown on this next play right here for New Hope. Trojans send the seniors out with a victory tonight over Saltillo. This is a great run from Tony. 37-13 your final as New Hope ends the season with a win. How about West Point taking on Lewisburg tonight, and Andre Lane starting things off with a 29-yard touchdown run. It's 13-0 Greenway. Justin Vollenweier coming through once again in the clutch, sending us this video all the way from Lewisburg. And we're going to get to see Clayton Knight throw to DeMario Edwards. Oh, that pitch and catch, 25-yard touchdown. It was all Greenies, 53-17. West Point already had the division clinch, but just for good measure, they look sharp against Lewisburg. Oxford's going to get the 3 seed. They fell to Lake Cormorant tonight, 31-20. So your playoff seedings, we do have these all set and confirmed for you. Holmes County Central is the 4. So that means when we go to the brackets here, West Point's going to host Holmes County Central next Friday. Grenada Oxford's a great matchup. And then on the bottom, you have Germantown, Clarksdale, and Lake Cormorant and Vicksburg. Get ready and get all fired up for 5A North playoffs starting next Friday. 4A North started tonight. We start with your defending 4A state champions, Noxubee County. Seems like every year they play the Rams of Gentry to start the playoffs. And every year they seem to make these kinds of plays. Malik Stallings, Keziah Pruitt. Somehow he's getting away from this defense. I'm not sure how, but he's just really fast. A 45-yard touchdown. Tigers really starting to lay it on Gentry thick. And then on the ensuing kickoff, an onside kick, well, not onside, but just poorly handled by Gentry, would be covered by Noxubee. And then Jacarius Oliver would finish this one out with a 15-yard touchdown. It was all Noxubee. No points surrendered by the Tigers tonight. 47-0 your final. Tigers moving on in the playoffs. How about Louisville? The Power Cats taking on Raymond tonight, the Rangers. As I mentioned, it's not the Power Rangers. They're just the normal Rangers because these are the Power Cats. Deontay Yarbrough, Purvis Frazier. Great catch. Remember, Purvis was your starting quarterback to begin the season. He's too good of an athlete. You got to put him at receiver. And then Cameron Harrington, the big fella, rumbling forward for the touchdown. It was all Louisville tonight as the Wildcats moving on to the playoffs, 25-6 over Raymond. To the Hollow we go. Pontotoc taking on Ripley. And the Warriors were just having themselves a ball tonight. Ripley could not do a thing on offense. That Pontotoc defense was smoking this evening, getting the stop there. And then right here, Austin Morphus. This is your play of the night. He's going to run one way. Now he's running right. Okay, down the sidelines, Ripley has him cornered right. Nope, cut back. 6, 7, 8 white jerseys are all left in the dust of Austin Morphus. That is a 65-yard run, but he ran about 120 yards to get there. All Pontotoc, 43-0 over Ripley. The Warriors moving on in the 4A North playoffs. How about Lafayette and Shannon tonight? We thought Shannon, the Red Raiders, if they play a great game, they may be able to hang with the Commodores. No, they couldn't. Randy Anderson takes the direct snap, and he's off to the races. 63 yards for the touchdown. That Shannon offense, it would get close to this Lafayette red zone, but just could never put any points on the board tonight as the Commodores roll 44-0. A lot of big-time shutouts to begin the 4A North playoffs this evening. But these were not shutouts or big-time blowouts. Cleveland and Houston played a thriller here in the defense, coming up with a stop, trailing 7-0 right now. Toppers pop on a fumble, and they recover. Couldn't turn it any points, so Cleveland actually led 14-0, but Ty Harton's bunch kept playing hard, had it down to a one-score game, but could not get all the way back. Cleveland holds off the Toppers, a 21-19 win for the Wildcats. A great season from Houston comes to an end. And lastly, Caledonia had upset on their mind tonight against the 1 seed from Greenwood, and very nearly the Feds got this win. Zion Ford, good run here, picking up a first down. It worked so well the first time. Let's do it again. Zion down to the 10-yard line. Couldn't turn it into any points, though. Greenwood would get points. Say that 5 times fast. Caledonia led 28-26, under 4 minutes to go, but Greenwood got a touchdown late. Feds couldn't put any more points on the board. Heck of a run from Andy Crotwell's Feds of Caledonia. They fall 34-28 to Greenwood. And lastly, Senatobia puts it on to Itawamba. Indians had a great season. Warriors, though, they get the win 34-15. Your 4A North brackets look like this. Amory will host Cleveland. Lafayette hosts Louisville. Those are 2 great matchups next Friday. How about 2 more great matchups for you next Friday? Pontotoc to Greenwood and Senatobia to Noxubee. Buckle in, kids. 4A North is going to get fun really quick starting next week. When we return on the End Zone, we have more playoff scores and games to discuss. The top of the class in 2A and 3A, East Webster, North Pontotoc, Moorville, all in postseason action tonight. How would they fare in their pre-postseason openers? And is Calhoun City headed back to Davis Wade Stadium? It certainly looks like it. The Wildcats look great tonight. We'll see if they can keep rolling in the playoffs. A couple teams taking some road trips. Winona, Bruce, South Pontotoc, East Union. All the highlights and scores when we return. Welcome back into the End Zone, presented by OCH Regional Medical Center. Into the 3A playoffs we go. We start with your division champs from Region 4. That would be North Pontotoc, the V-Men, taking on Louisville Central. And your opening kickoff, not a bad way to start. Pooch kick from Juan Perez, and how about the Vikings pouncing on it and recover? So let's go to offense, and let's go to Zay Cullens. Not a bad guy to get to. Picks up 9 yards, gets a good gain. Now 4th down coming up here for North Pontotoc. Clark Mills, your quarterback, goes back to pass. Now, watch this play. It gets deflected in the air. Zay Cullens nearly comes down with it in the end zone for the catch, but just out of his reach. No worries, Zay, and no worries, North Pontotoc. Vikings got the win tonight, 45-24. They're moving on 3A North playoffs as they look good tonight. Moorville taking on Yazoo County. This is just a case of the Troopers running into a team that's got all sorts of athleticism and a kid at quarterback that was just running circles around their defense. And here he is right there. He wears number 1 for Yazoo County. You can see the guy's got, might as well nickname him Oil Can. He's just slipping off of tackles and running through everyone. DeBreco Davis will get a touchdown right here for Yazoo County. No shame for the Troopers losing this game. Yazoo County is a darn good football team. Great season, first year under John Keith. Moorville falls, though, to Yazoo County 34-0. Aberdeen hung tough with Velma Jackson, but tough to make that trip down to Camden and try to win. VJ wins 54-22. Eastside takes out South Pontotoc. Boy, the Cougars had a fantastic season, but their season does come to an end, losing to the Trojans. Charleston shuts out Belmont 52-0. Independence, Boonville actually had the lead in this game in the first half and just let it get away from them, but the Wildcats do win 41-12. And Kossuth trailed at the half, but MS Palmer can't hold on to that lead. Aggies roll 27-12 from that second half surge. Here's the 3A North playoff brackets. Kossuth will host Eastside next Friday in a good one. Charleston will go to Yazoo County. It's going to be a tough one for the Tigers. Bottom half of the 3A North bracket, North Pontotoc will host Independence in a tough one. Velma Jackson goes to North Panola. So we only have 2 area teams remaining in 3A. That is Kossuth and North Pontotoc. Down into Class 2A we go. Calhoun City. My goodness. Perry Lyles Wildcats are playing on another level than everyone else in Class 2A. And Jesse Neighbors is also playing on another level. He picks up 10 yards and gets a first down right there. That would set up Keyshawn Parker, the big fella, rumbling forward. Can't tackle him. 10-yard touchdown. 7-0 Calhoun City. And more Wildcats turning up. Jesse Neighbors from the Wildcats. Wildcat. Well, they're named the Wildcats, and that is the Wildcat. Doesn't matter. Either way, Calhoun City's just rolling over teams. 44-0. They haven't had a close game in like 2 months. They're really good. East Webster taking on LaFleur County tonight, and what a way to start for the Wolverines here. How about an interception? Isaac Patterson going up and get it, and he's taking it the other way. And there's nothing on green grass and open opportunities for number 14. It's a pick 6 for East Webster. They take a 6-0 lead, and they would add a 2-point conversion right here with Miller Hancock. Gets himself into the end zone, finding a way to get to the zone. 8-0 lead for East Webster. Now, the floor did make this interesting, and they made it interesting late in terms of the score, but East Webster had this one really in control for most of the night. 39-16, Wolverines continue on in the playoffs. And J.Z. George, we haven't seen him this year. We have seen East Union, and we know East Union, these kids can run the football, the urchins. But J.C. George got some athletes. Two of them wear number 6 and number 10. You're going to see on these highlights here. Nothing there for East Union on that carry. So first possession for the Jaguars here. Here's the kid that wears number 6. He ran wild on East Union's defense tonight. Picks up a first down. Eventually they would get a touchdown from the guy who wore number 10. I told you these guys just kept going back and forth. Whoever wanted to have the ball was going to go score. J.C. George rolled over East Union 47-7 tonight. The Jaguars are a team you don't want to mess around with, as they showed this evening. Baldwin, not a team you want to mess around with either, defeating Cocoa 58-16. Strayhorn shuts out Mantachi 54-0. Walnut gets their first win in the playoffs since 2013, I believe. 14-12 Wildcats over West Tallahatchie. That Bruce game, that score much closer than the scoreline indicates. Trojans do fall, though. Season comes to an end 36-6. And South Delta over Winona. Tiger season comes to an end 46-14. The 2A North playoff brackets. We start in the top half. Baldwin will host South Delta. East Webster is going to have a tough one at Strayhorn. As you saw, Strayhorn took care of Mantachi tonight. Bottom half of the 2A North bracket. Walnut goes to Rosedale to take on West Bolivar. And Calhoun City and J.C. George. That's going to be athletes all over the place running wild. Maybe the city defense can turn up and maybe shut down that Jaguar offense. It's going to be a fun one next Friday. When we come back on the end zone, more playoff action to discuss. But we want to fill out the brackets first before we get to the playoffs in 1A. Smithville, Nairwaya, Noxapater, West Lowndes, all in action. We'll tell you where they're all set in the brackets. And postseason pressure for our private school teams. Starkville Academy, Winona Christian, Heritage Academy. One of those three teams did win this evening. And we're going west into West Alabama. Vernon and Aliceville kicking their playoff run off. We'll show you their highlights when we return.